Buying a truck here in Malaysia makes a lot of sense because it doesn't cost that much. It gives you a lot of car for the money that you're spending, but the only impediment would probably be the size. So a lot of people actually buy trucks as family vehicles. So we want to find out if this all-new Mitsubishi Triton VGC is indeed the perfect family car, or is it strictly a workhorse? Did you know that the maximum payload for the bed of the Mitsubishi Triton is all the way up to almost a ton? You're thinking, what could I carry that could weigh a ton and put it on this bed? Well, let me illustrate it for you. You could carry up to 3 full-size African buffaloes, yep, kerbau, or 18,000 ringgit worth of Musang King durians, or, wait for it, you can even put a whole Prodo Akancil on this bed. Yep, that is how versatile a truck bed is. But really, buying a truck is not all about the bed. It's about the whole package, right? And it's been 10 years since we last saw a new version of the Triton. The last version was introduced in 2005. So this one shares nuances with the last one, but it's all new. You see, this tail lamp combination is all new. It's very pretty. It has a sort of like a handle thingy going on over there. This is all new. What we have over here is the Triton VGT Adventure. That's a top of the range variant, but you will notice that it does not have sports bars, unlike the last version. Mitsubishi, maybe you should pay attention here. Sports bars look cool. Maybe you want to consider adding it in this one because it looks a little bit naked line. It's very difficult for you to distinguish between this and the lesser variants. All variants come with the same tires, which are this Dunlop 8020 Grand Tech with 17-inch wheels, and you will see that the signature Mitsubishi design, which is this J line over here that separates the cab from the bed, is still there, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Now let's take a look at the redesigned front. So this is the newly designed front end of the brand new Mitsubishi Triton, right? If you remember in the last iteration, it looks like a stormtrooper, especially in white, right? Well, that design is now gone and it is replaced with this all new fascia, which basically starts from one end and ends at the other. It looks very cool. This chrome finishing really gives a certain level of class to this workhorse, but only the lowest variant don't get this chrome finish. But more importantly, what's really cool is this projector headlamp over here with DRLs, and they just look the business, and they are really, really bright at night. So fantastic choice of headlamps here, Mitsubishi. If you come over here, you will see that for the VGT Adventure variant, you get this fancier side step, which is this tube type side step instead of the regular flat metal piece. So this one actually adds another level of coolness to how this truck looks like. But really, let's take a look inside. Right then, folks, welcome to the interior of the brand new Mitsubishi Triton. All right, as usual, foot in the brakes, jab the button, and the engine's on. As you can see, I don't even need to hold the key. The key is safely in my pocket, so it's keyless go and also keyless entry, and it does have a push start button. So very fancy, yeah. Let's begin with the cockpit area. Being a truck, you get a lot of glass space, so you get to see everything that's happening around you, and that's great. And then this area that you are sitting in, everything is really within easy reach. And it's not complicated on the steering. You get leather, and you get your entertainment control over here with phone connectivity. That's for your Bluetooth stuff. And also your cruise control. For the VGT Adventure variant, you also get pedal shifters. Fancy, eh? It comes with an automatic gearbox, so the top of the line gets this pedal shifters, and you can use it to shift as you go, and that's really cool. The clocks are very easy to read. All the instrument and all the buttons and everything is just, you know, it's easy lah. The center console over here, you get a touch screen unit with all that basically you want to do with your radio and your Bluetooth connectivity for you to connect your phone and also your music player. That's all good. You've got dual zone climate control over here, and you get a lot of dud buttons, and I don't like that. It just looks like, ugh, you know, all this plastic stuff is just all duds. In terms of cubby space and storage, you get your bins on either side. You've got your bin over there, and also your a fairly large bin, which is lockable over here, and you've got your cup holders and the standard fare. It is quite comfortable. The seats are actually quite comfortable. However, at the back, I've sat at the back before, and the seats are a little bit upright. So if you're thinking of long journeys with your kids, they might be a little bit cranky at the end of it because the seats are a little bit upright and it's not like you can recline or anything like that. The new car actually has a wider and generally larger cabin without actually altering so much the dynamics of the car. In fact, the whole car is just wider. It is longer. The wheelbase stays the same at 3 meters. So it's grown, but not in a bad way. So yeah. So right now we're going to see if it drives well and if the performance of this truck is up to par with what you need for both road and also when you actually need to use it as a workhorse. Right then, the secret of being a successful family car is that you actually really need to be very, very comfortable. And I think I can safely say that yes, indeed, this is actually a very comfortable car. A very comfortable truck. It offers you a lot of comfort. It offers you, like I said earlier, great commanding view of the road ahead of you, and you really know what's happening ahead of you, and that's definitely an added bonus. And really, refinement wise, it doesn't sound, it's not too noisy. Only when you have the engine working really hard up in the upper revs that you actually have to deal with noise coming in. The drivability of the truck itself, the controls are very, very light. The power assisted steering is light. It's not as precise as a sports car or anything like that. Is it wafty? No, not really. The turning circle is still best in class, only 3.8 turns to do a full 180, and that's definitely good. Let's talk about the power. This new engine puts out 178 PS and 400 Newton meters of torque. There are variants elsewhere in the world that actually pushes out 182 PS, but we're not getting that variant or rather that engine over here because we don't have the complying diesel to go with it. But nonetheless, we do get a 15 Newton meters of torque advantage over the last engine, and that is something you can definitely feel. The pulling power of this truck is really quite amazing. You can definitely feel the surge as you go forward, and that, if you're not used to it, is something that you can find quite exhilarating. Even for a truck this size, you feel the oomph as you go forward, and as soon as the turbo kicks in, you can definitely feel the raw guttural power that this truck offers you. And I guess that's probably one of the reasons why people love to buy a pickup truck. This particular unit is mated to an automatic gearbox, which of course, as I mentioned earlier, you have paddle shifters to go with that, and shifting from 2 wheels to 4-wheel drive is now done via a rotary button over here. If you're driving a manual, it's still the 2-stick combination, but for the automatic, it's as easy as just turning the bevel and going from 2 high to 4 high and pushing down and turning even a bit more for low. To be honest with you, when you're driving a car this tall, you can definitely feel the roll as you take corners, right? And that's something that you just cannot run away from. There are some aftermarket suspension available, and we have talked about this in previous editions of India, that you can fix to the car to actually give it even better handling. But as it is, the car actually does exactly, the truck actually does exactly what it needs to do. It is not the best driver's machine, but you don't really buy a truck for it to be a driver's machine. It does exactly what it's supposed to do with a decent level of comfort and a decent level of performance. So I think, yeah, that basically ticks all the boxes in my books. See, my favorite part with driving the Triton is, well, something that I really love about driving any truck out there. It just gives you so much versatility. It's got comfort. It takes you from point A to point B in the best time possible. With the right accessories, you've got the biggest boot space any family car can give you, but also it gives you an added sense of security thanks to the ride height and also the vastness of the vehicle. But also it gives you options to do stuff that you probably would never be able to do with your regular family car, like taking it for a little bit of off-roading action. Not so much with your standard tires, but really you can do so much more, and the option is there for you to really spec the car up to be whatever it is that you want it to be. I'm starting to refer to it more as car than as truck. But one thing for sure, the Triton is a tried, tested and proven formula, and in this latest iteration, they've proven once again that it works.